American Psychiatric Association removed homosexuality from its list of psychiatric disorders. Here to explain and talk about that is Dr. Michelle DeBlasi, is a psychiatrist at Tufts Medical Center. Good to see you, doctor.
Hey, doctor. It's great to see you. So, the change itself may not sound like a big deal to most Americans that are watching right now, but back in 1973, it was huge. So, in your opinion, what message did this decision send not only to the LGBTQ community, but also to the rest of the country?
I think the message it sent was that homosexuality is not a disorder. It's not a disease that should be targeted or treated, and being gay is normal. And I think that this was huge for us. It really broke down a lot of walls, allowed us to be a lot more inclusive as a society. And as a result, we got to put, laws into place to help people, protect people in the LGBTQ community against prejudice in the workplace, allow more people to adopt children, join the military, and even to get married. So I think it really brought us all a lot closer together and a lot more inclusive.
Doctor, the CDC says that people in the LGBTQ community continue to have a higher risk of major depression, anxiety, even suicide. So what can you tell us about the reasons behind that, possibly?
Maria, you're absolutely right. People in this community actually have up to a 2.5 times rate of having mental health disorders. And that does include depression, anxiety, substance use disorders, and even suicide. And I think the reason behind this is there's just a really high chance of feeling lonely and feeling isolated. Oftentimes people in this community don't feel completely comfortable sharing their entire identity to everyone in their life. And as a result, that can lead them to feeling quite isolated and therefore anxious and depressed. I think the other side of this is that when they do kind of share exactly who they are, sometimes they risk people not accepting them or rejecting them. And that, again, can lead to just worsening anxiety and rates of depression.
And doctor, to expand on that, having a supportive group of friends and family is good for everyone's mental health, regardless of sexual orientation. But why is it particularly important for people in the LGBTQ community?
I think it's particularly important kind of from what I just mentioned. There's just higher rates of feeling isolated, feeling like you're not accepted. And so you really need to have at least a few people, if not just one person in your family or friends, who really cares and loves you for exactly who you are and for all of you. And I think that that's really the most important thing. The other thing is you really need to have somebody in your life who can be there for you, because inevitably you're going to run into some challenges at some point, or who knows, maybe prejudices in the workplace, and you really can need somebody to rely on to have an open ear and really hear what's going on.
Dr. DeBlasi, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks,
we appreciate it. Stay well. And to our viewers, if you have mental health questions that you would like our experts to answer, email them to ask@wcvb.com.